Good evening, Jan Roberts here from South Africa. Again, it's a little bit later tonight due to some unforeseen power cuts we had in this wonderful country. It's called load shedding here. But we're back with another session on self-care. And this time an unusual subject, but it was suggested to me, and it's called Dream Big. Has everything to do with self-care as well, the same as every other time. Hopefully it'll become a little bit more apparent as we go through. It's going to be a short session, but it's going to be our Dream Big. Now let me ask you a few questions when we get started. How many of you have dumbed down yourselves because you've been battered into submission by all your past experiences? How many of you have dumbed yourself down because of other people around you telling you you will never make it? Things like, who do you think you are? And people who know you, and you try to do things, and you have aspirations to be better and to do more, and yet people around you keep telling you, like crabs in a bucket, they try to hold you back. And how many of you have dumbed yourself down, just settled for because, well, life is not so bad? Were we ever meant to settle for? So how is it that you are now living a life of constant negative emotions, surrounded by negative people in a negative world, and you have just given up on your dreams? Are you constantly making excuses why you cannot, will not, and must no longer go after those dreams, those ideas, those visions you had for your life because, well, that's just how it is. It's too late. I'm too old. I've missed my opportunity in life. As I said, are you constantly making excuses? It doesn't take any more to find reasons to do it rather than excuses not to do it. The results are just very, very different. So, how do you think that is affecting your health, by the way? Do you have any idea how much damage you are doing to yourself and those around you by the way you are just existing? You are just going through life, and at the end you close your eyes and it's all done and kind of thank God it's over. No, life is meant to be lived. Life is exciting. There is more to life than just passing through. They talk about the dash. The important part. There is a small book written about it as well. The dash is the bit on a gravestone from when you were born to when you died, that bit in between. People say it's not the years in your life that are important, but the life in your years. And you cannot just let it go by. We've just had a year that many people have absolutely wasted it. Even worse, they've gone backwards because the negative emotions and all the kind of stuff that's been happening. That's why self-care is even more important now. But we've been through a year of drama and all kinds of stuff. And I don't even want to go into that, but I mean, it is not over. But how much has it affected your mind? How much has it affected your thoughts about your future and the future in general? See, it is high time to give yourself a good shaking, a good talking to. Grab yourself by the shoulders and get that fighting spirit back, that sparkle in your eyes that was once there, that abundance of energy because you still have a dream, a big dream, big, huge. Now, for a long time, I let others control what I could do, be, and have. In life, as it allowed them to, I allowed them to dictate way too many things. Some simple on the outside, but with emotional scars that took a long time to heal. Simple things like holding hands in public, not appreciating a bunch of flowers, or other romantic touches. There were also other issues in my life where I let myself be manipulated due to my damaged self-esteem and the need to serve. And as long as I served, I belonged. It was something that happened a long time ago, and it repeated itself, and it was so wrong. But I tell you this, there is many of those kind of things in each and every one of our lives, that we have things that we wish that hadn't happened, that we let happen because, and there's all kinds of reasons. At the time, these maybe are good reasons, but afterwards, when you come through that storm, that negative period in your life, you wonder, why did I let it? And then the fight really begins. The fight here begins, how we can get it back, how we can get our dreams, our passion, our purpose back because of what has happened in our lives. It happened to so many people, and we need to help each other. We need to support each other. And for me, it took very special circumstances and an amazing lady who has just become my fiance, and honest conversations for me to stand up and move forward in a life that I feel I deserve, and in a life that I think we all deserve. We all deserve the best. There is nowhere written that we can't have a great life. So why do we keep living a bad one, a mediocre one at best, or a very negative one at the moment? That's why it's time to say, no longer let outside circumstances determine who you are and what you can do. No longer let other people's opinions become your reality. No longer live other people's dreams and nightmares. It's time to stop existing and to really start living again. You owe it to yourself, your family, and all those around you. And I'm talking health purposes here as well. Because if by now you haven't realized that when that light went out inside of you, when that passion left you, it hasn't left you, you've just buried it, like I did for a while. But when that passion is buried deep inside of you and you eventually walk to the grave with it, you do nobody any favors, and at least of all yourself. And that grave will probably come a lot sooner, because it is simple. Where there is no hope in the future, there is no power in the present. So we might as well have hope in the future, and that has to be a big dream, a big goal, something bigger. Maybe you might be scared half to death of the goal and dream you have, but at least have one. You owe it to yourself and your health. And of course, you are allowed to think big. Of course, you will have some setbacks. A setback has been known as a set-up for a comeback. Now, there's the thing, of course. And of course, you might not achieve all you set out to do. But if you go after your dreams with all you have, you will undoubtedly be a lot closer than if you'd never started at all. And it's, of course, yes, you should have big goals regardless what people tell you. My friend and mentor Les Brown always says, the tragedy is not in having big goals you miss, but in having small ones you hit. That journey is a lot less exciting, a lot less purposeful if you have a purpose. If you set small goals that you hit all the time, okay, lovely, celebrate them, and at least you're moving somewhere. But in the meantime, you should always have that big goal ahead of you, that even if it's that one thing that you really want to do with your life, that destiny you know you have. We all have a destiny, we all have a purpose, but we all need to grow into it. And we won't do that by staying negative all the time. And we need to start looking after ourselves, because if we're going to go on that journey, and if we're going to go a long way on that journey, we better be in good health, physically, mentally, and spiritually to get there. But the magic is not in the achievement. It is in the journey. It is in the person you become while going after your dreams, not anybody else's. Because the person you become when you go after somebody else's dreams and visions is by far totally different, never going to be the same. So rather than look back at all the wrongs in this world, it is time to take a stance, a positive one. Make a decision that your past will not repeat itself and also become your future. Start to dream again. Get that spark back in your eyes. Get that spark back in your life. Because remember, what happens around you and what happens to you is not, it pales actually into insignificance compared to what happens within you. You are a powerful human being with unlimited potentials, with a kind heart and a compassionate soul. Light your fire again, because you owe it to yourself and your sanity. Your health is important. Dream big and never stop believing in yourself, because we all believe in something, and I believe in you because you matter. I will see you tomorrow. Take care.